Hi everybody, it's Jaff from Medieval Mirage and I hope you're all doing well. Thank you for joining me. I really do appreciate your company today. I also want to say thank you to all my faithful subscribers. You guys are amazing. And to all those that have newly subscribed, a very warm welcome to you. Thank you for joining us on this journey. And let's get started. Hi everyone. Welcome. I hope you're all doing well. Thanks for joining me today. So today is the 21st of March 2024 show and share with the beautiful results that I got from stenciling on fabric and just using coffee and tea. In fact, I think I used green tea because I'd run out of the dark tea. But it just came out looking really beautiful and I'm really happy with it. So that is how you can get that really kind of natural, how to get that natural look to your fabrics. Let's get started. And today is the 18th of March 2024 and I want to welcome you all and thank you all for joining me today. So I've just got some fabric here. It's kind of a linen-y kind of fabric. Regarding fabric, so like I said, that was kind of linen-y fabric. I can't really remember when I got it, but you can try this with natural fibered fabric. So your cottons would probably be best, or your linens. Anything that's a natural fabric, and going for a plainer color would be best. You can go for white or cream as well, but it's one of those things that you're going to have to try and test it out with what you've got. You can pick up some very reasonably priced tablecloth or pillowcases that are just 100% cotton, white or cream or ivory, and give them a go. They're the perfect size. I've got a tablecloth that I got from Kmart here in Australia for about $10. It is massive and I'm just chomping into that for all my fabric needs. So yeah, do what's best for you and just experiment. However, just keep in mind that this isn't color fast. So when you're doing the coffee tea staining, it could easily wash out the impression that you're trying to create. So this is more for journal covers or anything that you want to put in your journals. I wouldn't be using this for something that's going to get washed. You want to use these stenciled fabric impressions on something that is going to be for your journal or paper crafting or whatever projects that are not going to be put through the washing machine. If you want to seal it, I would recommend spraying with a sealer and trying that out. But just keep in mind, this is not a color fast dyeing project. It could be compromised if it got wet and so forth. So please remember that important point. Thank you. And I'm going to cut it to about the size of this. So I'm just going to do a haphazard cut. The only reason why I want it to be this size is if I decide to use it as book cloth, I can. But yeah, so I've done it this size just in case I want to use it as book cloth. I'll just snip off that. With the formula, this is really just my preference. I would just recommend you experiment, but this is just the basis that I start off with. I can add more to each of the elements that make it up. If I want to make it lighter, I might make it 4 metric cups of water instead of 3, but leave the rest as is. or I might decide that I want to darken it by making it 2 cups of water and 3 heaped tablespoons of coffee, and the same equivalent with the tea. So it really depends on your preferences and the color and the depth of it and so forth. But just to read this out, just in case it's necessary, I just adjust the amounts to what I'm making. My launching place is from 3 metric cups of boiling water, 3 heaped tablespoons of generic instant coffee, 3 to 4 tea bags that are dark, or you can use 4 to 5 green tea bags. You might want to go up to 6 if you haven't got any dark tea bags. And everything is cheap, everything is generic, and I usually add a bit of salt. That acts as a preservative, especially if you're worried for papers or anything like that being left for a number of days. It seems to ward off any mold. I like to brew mine for a few hours or overnight. Intensity, and then do your strips. Write down your recipe, and those strips can then become your recipe. You can check them every time you need them. You know what kind of results you're going to get. Go for it. And that's the way to work out the formula that works for you, and understanding what's going to be dark, what's going to be light, what you're going to need. Now, generally what I do like to do when I have my spray bottle, I do like this to be a bit darker than that, because sometimes I do want things to jump out at me with a bit of a different tonage. So yes, I've got my coffee stain all done, but I might want something more emphasized, so I might add maybe another tablespoon of coffee into this, maybe half a tablespoon, and they're always heaped. I always do heaped, but it's not a metric measurement. It's just whatever tablespoon I've got in my in the kitchen drawers. So yeah, okay. So I'm gonna have 2 trays, and I've got some stencils here as well. Just got some rubbish bags and that I keep reusing for the purpose of keeping my surface area clean, because you end up making a mess. Even if you're really careful, believe you me, you'll be ending up with spots where you cannot believe it landed. So I have to decide on a stencil. Am I going to do 2 stencils, or am I going to do just 1 in the center? That is the question. I do love this one. So I could do that with that on one side, and I could do this on the other. I think I might do that, just so that I can fill up the whole area. This one here I feel needs, you know what, I'm going to do it now with you. With this stencil here, I love it, but I don't like how these are going down and these are going up. I would want them in one direction. It's not always the case, but with the roses I feel it's important. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to very carefully just cut around this, because it's just going to suit my purposes better just using it this way. And I might just sort of soften the edges a little bit. I think I'll get more out of this, and I think I'll really enjoy what it looks like. So I thought I'd do that one. And then this one, I don't know if I really want the number 6 there, so I'm just going to cut around like that, And then it is a very straight line, isn't it? So how about I just... I don't want to harm the actual stencil. So some of you might be absolutely appalled at what I'm doing, but I think I'll get more use out of this as a solitary rose rather than it being not. Okay, so just go like that. Anyway, I will be able to correct it once I see. If I'm not happy with that line, I can always go around that too. And 6 is a great number, I know, I'm sure. So I can just use that for stenciling. And just give me a little bit of a... so I can hold it. And I can stencil for that. Okay, so it looks like I've made my decision. I think I'm going to go either with this rose or this one. They're both pretty. Let's have a better look. I'll show you what the other stencil looks like. You'll probably have seen these ones because I've done some videos on those. So there's that one and there's that one. I wish you could tell me right now which one should I go for, but I think I'll go with that one. I think that kind of melds nicely. Right, well then let's get started. It's only going to be a couple of layers, but I am going to put down some paper first. Then I'm going to lay this down. And then lay my stencils down. Oh, and we forgot about these ones. So that one I might do separately, maybe once that tray is done. All right, so all I'm going to do, but I'm just spraying this down. Just turn it over. I may as well get the most out of my work. Okay, so if you're going to be coffee staining, you may as well. Okay, so I just want to get this nice and done. And then I'm going to dip this in. I'm going to just squeeze it out here. Lay it down. I'd like to have it as flat as possible. I should really be doing this on the surface of this plastic here, but let's not worry about it now. Okay, so here we go again. So the brew, I can't actually remember. I did it yesterday and I'm so sorry I didn't really give it much thought. Okay, it's nice and wet. Ah, that's better. Okay, that's what we want. We want it to really get right into all the nooks and crannies. Excellent. And we want to do the same with this one. And I'm going to take this outside because the weather is really good for this. Out at the moment here in Australia, I like to make the most of the good weather. Okay. Now I am tempted to spray another colour on there, but I won't for now. I'd love to, but I won't. But I'll just leave that. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab another piece of paper, just going to wet it down. And I'm going to put it on top. Like so. Okay. I'm only doing it to help adhere what's underneath, but also to get a nice embossed effect for the paper. I am going to all that trouble, why not? Always leaves a beautiful impression. You can just see it coming through. And it doesn't have to be perfect, it can be distressed. Okay. All right, so that's going to go outside. I wanted to just show you how this came out. So it's one of those things, can be a bit of a hit and miss. And I thought I'll just show you how it went, because I was doing the stencil coffee tea staining method on fabric. Okay, so here we go. So that was just the top piece, and I have got a lovely impression from this here. And by the way, I'm not sure if I mentioned it because my brain isn't working this morning, but it's the 20th of March 2024. I left it quite a few days. It's been quite warm here, so yeah, but I hope you're all doing well, and thank you for joining me. Okay, so here's the big reveal, and there it is. So I love that. I love that kind of subtleness, and have a look at this. It came through below. So that's why it is really worth your while adding some papers. And it's very faint on that side, but that's okay. But I absolutely love the results of this. I think that looks really stunning. Now, for those of you that are following along with Rachel, hey Rachel, and Sarah, hey Sarah, with their journal of stitchery, some of you might even consider something like this as your guide to do your embroidery stitches with the beautiful kind of linen fabric in the background. I can imagine you guys doing a really beautiful job, those of you like Rachel and Sarah who are just such experts at needlecraft. And for those that you are starting out, there's a possibility for you guys as well to do something like this. So yeah, I just wanted to show that to you, and it's just come out beautifully. So that's another way that you can decorate some of your plainer fabrics and give them something that's a real natural feel, a very vintage natural feel to your fabrics, especially if you're using them in conjunction with your journals, your journal crafting, your mixed media projects. But as a journal cover, to have some fabric that's decorated like this is absolutely stunning. And yeah, so obviously if I wash this now, it could be a problem. So what I might end up doing is, rather than paint a sealer on, I'd take it outside and do my matte sealer with a spray, just to keep it in place so that it stays there. But really a beautiful result. This one didn't come out as clear, but I still like that ghost effect of that. I only put it there because I wanted to sort of extend the amount of space that I had, but this one absolutely came out beautifully. So sometimes it's a random thing. It may not always work. You're just going to have to try it out. If it doesn't work, just wash it and start again. But these type of mandalas tend to do a really good job. They're large. They suction into whatever they're sticking next to quite well, whereas sometimes littler ones can be a little bit unstable in their suction ability, because once it's suctioned, that's it. That's where you get that clear, sharp distinction happening. So that was that, everybody. So I hope that has inspired you to give it a go, and you can't go wrong. Because it's coffee and tea, you can wash it out. That's what's really exciting. It may require a bit of washing, just with soap and water, warm water, you should be fine. But isn't it worth your while? And then if you do it, then you've got a little bonus, well, two bonuses actually. This is a bit dark, only because it oxidizes on that first page. But on the reverse side, you get the negative effect, and then you get this beautiful impression. So isn't that lovely? You've got a little bonus out of it on both sides. So it's interesting that the impression came out better here than it did here. But I love the subtleness of it. I really do. But as I said before, it was more because I wanted to extend it, just to fill up the blank space so it didn't look odd. And this was the stencil. But there we go. I absolutely love this. I love the naturalness of it. I just really do. It's just so beautiful. And then we have our little extra bonus. So thank you, everybody, for joining me today. I hope you have a great day wherever you are. Please take care of your lovely selves, and I look forward to catching up with you guys soon. Thanks, everybody. Bye.